Hi, and welcome to this sneak peek for season 4. This is a holiday special, and I want to let you know in a little secret. We have filming starting for season 4, and man, we are excited about this year. It's going to premiere January 20th, and I can tell you, you do not want to miss what's coming. We're going to be roasting coffee beans, having a pot pie, doing lasagna, and even have tiramisu on the show, which is, if you don't know, an Italian dessert that is to die for. So I'm going to show you the creamy mashed potatoes and a holiday stuffing that will be a pleaser on Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with about a stick of butter. I know it sounds like a lot, but when it comes to a stuffing, you want it to be creamy and luscious. So you want that buttery base. And we're going to throw in about one medium to large size onion, and 3 celery stalks, and 1 medium-sized green pepper, all of which need to be decently chopped, but you don't want it super small because you do want a little crunch in the stuffing. So I've already kind of preheated this in the butter, and I'll get this cooking. You want to cook it until it's semi-tender, because like I said, you want that little bit of a crunch in the stuffing. I've already at this time started some water and peeled about 8 russet potatoes and have those cooking because that takes a while to cook the potatoes. So I'm just getting a head start there. And so while I have these vegetables cooking, let's send it to a quick break. Tim, what do you have for us?
Have you missed In the Know with Tim? Have you not been getting the information to figure out the background of your meals? Well, wait till January because we're back with season 4. Just a little quick information about what I'll be talking about and so many more great tips. The chicken pot pie, breakfast burrito options, drinks around the world to go with specific dinner items, also chocolate truffles and where they come from. So those are just 4 of the many topics I'll be talking about. So stay tuned until January, and season 4 will be right around the corner.
And welcome back. So now the vegetables are to a perfect consistency. You don't want to overcook them. You want that little bit of a crunch. So if you take a look, the onion has gotten a little bit more clear, and that is what you want. You don't want it to start turning brown, which means it's overcooked. You want it to be more clearish white, and that will be great. It will also cook, remember, in the oven, which you should be preheating at this time to 325 degrees. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to put this on low and just kind of let it simmer for just a few more minutes. And while we're doing that, I'm going to transfer this 1 pound of pork sausage. I'm using Jimmy Dean's maple pork sausage. I thought the maple would be a nice sweet addition to the stuffing, but really you can use any pork sausage you want. You can use even turkey sausage, whatever is to your liking. So I'm going to go and put this in here. I've already preheated the pan, so it should start sizzling right away. I'm going to crush it in with a fork. Kind of break it into pieces. See how I'm breaking it up? Because you don't want it to be just a thick piece of meat that won't be completely cooked through. So you want to be able to just break it into crumbs, and as it cooks, it will naturally do that itself when it's pressed in pressed down in this way. So while I have this cook until it's brown, let's send it over to Brenna's segment. Brenna?
It's season 4 of Cooking with Kevin. I can't believe it. I just want to let you dive into a couple sneak peeks of some of the things I'll be talking about this season. We're going to look at how to cut vegetables a variety of different ways. Cut your time down and save those fingers. Looking at how to make a delicious, light and fluffy cake. The importance of the dessert, really. Also, there's always the difference between veganism and vegetarian. There is a difference. It's very slight, but we'll talk about it just a little more. And then last but not least, how to make your punch bowl pretty. Because who wants a party to be bland and just with ice? Let's make something fabulous for your next outing, and so much more. I can't wait to see you. Have a great time, guys.
And welcome back. So what we are going to do now is we are going to do the bread part. So if you own a food processor, now is the time to bring it out. But no worries, if you don't have a food processor, you can still get the same delicious stuffing just by placing the bread. You'll want 6 slices of white bread stacked like so, and just cut straight down crisscross into cube size, about that big. And then combine that with cornbread. So that's the other part of this. You'll want to have pre-baked a casserole dish of cornbread. Any mix will do. I bought Marie Callender's. You can do the Jiffy cornbread mix. You can do Krusty's. As long as it's cornbread mix, you'll be good. And cool it down slightly, and then use half of it and crumble it into a bowl like so. See? And believe me, it will crumble very easily, so it's not much of an effort. So I'm going to come around to the side here, and I got my food processor all set up. So I've already set out some white bread. I'm just going to tear it into a few little chunks. If you want a healthy alternative, you can always do like a whole wheat bread. I went with the white bread. When it's holidays, I just like to go for the gusto. But like I said, you can do the healthier alternative with wheat bread, or even a rye bread would be pretty tasty and less calories. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up one side. Corn in the cornbread. I need to help it in there. What I'm going to actually do before it gets too full, I'm going to help it, because when you process it, it will actually make it go down. So let's just do some small pulses. To help some of the pieces that are up on the top down in. Let's try this one more time. There we go. So you don't want it completely pureed. You still want a little texture to it. And then it will clump up once it's combined with the chicken broth and all the vegetables and the sausage to where it will be a nice bread crumble. So while I let this set, when we come back from the trivia question, I'll show you how to season it, add all the meat and the vegetables. So we are ready to mix up this stuffing. What we're going to do is, first of all, let's add in the vegetables that we cooked earlier, the celery, the onion, and the green pepper. Get as much of that deliciousness out of there as possible. Scrape it clean. Alright, now we're going to put all of the pork sausage in, including the drippings for that flavor. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon sage, 1/2 teaspoon poultry seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon thyme, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 cup of parsley, and 1 egg, and then 1 full container of chicken broth. Now I chose to do the low sodium version. You can do the regular as well, but there tends to be a good amount of salt in it already from the sausage and the butter and the bread. So I tend to do the chicken broth. It's a healthier alternative doing it the low sodium way. So go ahead and mix this all in. You want the full container. It's for, oh, actually, I take that back. Let's just do half, because the more I'm thinking about it, we're not going to be making a whole batch of this. So we're just going to do 2 cups of chicken broth. That way it's going to still be moist, but it will have some solidarity to it when it bakes. Okay, so let's go ahead and mix this in. It will be mushy, but then as it bakes and then that egg in it, it will bring it together. It's going to bake for about an hour at 325 degrees until it is more golden brown on the top and salt and more of a substance to it. Mix it well. I have a 9x13 baking dish here. I'm going to pour in. Make sure it's off the counter. I'll turn it around so that you can see. Just distribute it evenly. So now, like I said, this will bake for 1 hour in the oven. Put this in here. All right, now that that's done, let's go ahead and send it to Julie for her segment. When we get back, we'll start on the mashed potatoes.
Hi! We are so excited about the upcoming 4th season of Cooking with Kevin. And to give you a little bit of sneak preview, some of the topics that I will be talking about is the healthy benefits of soup. And I don't know about you, but I love rolls with soup. So we're going to have the secrets of moist and flaky rolls. And another topic that I'll be speaking on is the difference between white and red sauces. And let's say we do one on how to cook tender pork. Anyway, I hope you will tune in January 20th.
Hi, welcome back. So we got the mashed potatoes complete and they are soft to the touch with the fork. So we're now going to drain them. So I'll quickly step over here. Oh. Here's my recent hand washing, some suds got in there. Give it a good drain in. You want to keep the pan out while you get all that water out. Be careful, especially when you are pouring the potatoes into the strainer, as it would be very hot water that can burn you, and the steam can even burn you too, so make sure you don't have your face down to where it could be injured. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take a masher and we're going to mash these to where you can get all of the lumps out. Along the sides. Normally you wouldn't have the pan tipped, but I'm trying to show you what it would look like in there. Okay, and then at this point, so at this point, I'm going to add about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon basil. It's your prerogative how herby you want the potatoes to taste. And then I'm going to throw in just a dab of crushed garlic. And about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of butter. And then some heavy whipping cream. You can also do 1/2 and 1/2 or even 1% milk as a healthier alternative. But like I said, when it comes to the holidays, I like to go for the gusto and go for flavor. So I'm doing the heavy whipped cream. I'm just going to put in a splash to begin with. You don't want to put too much liquid in with the mashed potatoes, otherwise they'll be runny. I'll kind of show you what's going on here. Okay. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'll get the salt here. Let's see. There we go. Just a couple dashes of each. For flavor. I'm going to do one more mixing. I think that it's actually done. Like I said, you don't want to add too much liquid to these potatoes, otherwise they will be runny. Right now, if it was to stick to a spoon, you can do that spoon test that's been made famous at Dairy Queen where they flip their blizzard over. You can do the same test with the mashed potatoes. And so this is perfect consistency. So while we let those kind of cool down and we wait for the stuffing to continue to finish baking, I should say, let's send it to the trivia answer. Hey, welcome back. So, this is my favorite time of the show. Are you ready to see the reveal of the stuffing? I know I am. It's been smelling this whole last hour and I'm so excited. So there it is. You'll notice that there is some slight browning that has began to happen at the top of the bread. That is just right, because you don't want to burn it. You want it to still have some softness to it so as to make it easy to chew and go along with those mashed potatoes and the turkey. So let it cool for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's more to room temperature, and then it'll be perfect to serve on the plate with the mashed potatoes. So while we let it cool, let's go to a brand new segment this season. We are so excited to welcome Susie onto the show full time, and she's going to be doing a new segment called This and That with Susan. What do you have for us, Susie?
Oh, hi there. Aunt Susie here. My nephew Kevin has asked me, and I'm so excited, to be a part of the Cooking with Kevin show. So for upcoming segments, I'll be showing you things out of the refrigerator that you can use. Leftovers. A lot of times I'll freeze things and put them up here, or I'll just put them, in a container, and I'm going, how am I going to use that little bit of something in here? I don't throw away anything. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of us are on very tight budgets, food-wise, and I find a way to use everything in my refrigerator, in my freezer. So I'm going to share some little creations with you. A lot of times I've said to my family, well, we're having a leftover night, and they go, oh no, again, we just had that the other night. Well, it doesn't have to be boring, okay? It doesn't have to be the same thing. You can incorporate that into a new entree dish, a side dish, even a breakfast, something for breakfast. So I'm really excited about what I'm going to be sharing with you. And the holidays coming up, I'm going to show you what you can do with turkey leftovers. We all have a lot of those, right? As well as ham, and maybe some of you cook a prime rib. What am I going to do with that leftovers? Or maybe there's not much left, but I will still show you what you can use those for and in what dishes you can create. So, looking forward to being with all of you in upcoming segments of Cooking with Kevin. Bye for now.
And thank you, Susie, for that great segment. I am so excited to have you on the show now, full time, doing that great segment of showing us things that we can just throw together from the fridge to make a wonderful meal. So I look forward to seeing what else you have for us in store for the rest of the season. All right, let's go ahead and scoop up some of this stuffing. This is still a little moist, and that's actually how I prefer my stuffing. Of course, you can always add about 20 to 30 minutes longer baking time at the 325 if you want it to be crunchier. It's just not going to be as moist. So let's go ahead and serve up some of the mashed potatoes with this as well. What's nice about these garlic herb mashed potatoes is that you don't actually need gravy. Now, I could have whipped up a nice gravy, and that would have been a very nice touch on the top, like that cherry on the top of the sundae. But as it is, I did not make gravy for this, just trying to show that you have that option, gravy or no gravy, with these mashed potatoes. So there you go. You got a wonderful holiday stuffing with a freshly seasoned herb garlic mashed potatoes that will be a hit at your Thanksgiving meal. I look forward to seeing you back here January 20th at the debut of Season 4. Until then, keep cooking with Kevin.